You know that moment when someone asks you a question in English and your mind goes completely blank? Like you know the answer in your own language, but suddenly it's like your brain forgot how to speak English entirely. Well, what if I told you that this happens because you're still thinking in your native language and then trying to translate everything to English? And what if there was a way to skip that translation step completely? Hey there, welcome back to SEP, the Slow English Podcast. I'm Amin, and if this is your first time listening, don't worry, you're in the right place. We speak slowly here, so your brain has time to understand every single word. Last week, we talked about why slow English works so well for learning. Today, I want to share something that changed my whole approach to English, and I think it's going to change yours too. Today, we're talking about how to think in English. Not just speak in English, but actually think in English. And I'm going to give you 5 simple techniques that you can start using today, right after this episode ends. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. She studied English for 8 years in school. 8 years! She could read English books and understand English movies with subtitles. But when she went to a coffee shop in London and the barista asked, "What can I get you today?" she just stood there frozen. Why? Because in her head, she was thinking, "I want a coffee with milk," in her native language first, then trying to translate it word by word to English. By the time she figured out the translation, there was this awkward silence and she felt embarrassed. But here's the interesting part. Later that same day, she was walking down the street and saw a cute dog. Without thinking, she said out loud, "Oh, what a beautiful dog." Perfect English. Natural English. What happened? In that moment, she wasn't translating. She was thinking directly in English. Her brain made a direct connection between what she saw and English words. That's what we want to achieve. Direct thinking in English. And the good news is you don't need 8 years to do it. You just need the right techniques. The first technique is so simple, you might think it's silly. But trust me, it works like magic. I want you to become the narrator of your own life. In English, here's how it works. When you wake up tomorrow morning, instead of thinking, "I need to brush my teeth," in your language, try thinking, "I'm brushing my teeth," in English. Start with simple actions. I'm opening the door. I'm walking to the kitchen. I'm making coffee. The coffee smells good. Now you might be thinking, "But Amin, what if I don't know the English word for something?" Great question. That's actually the best part. When you don't know a word, you have 2 choices. Choice 1. Describe it with words you do know. Instead of saying, "I'm using the magus," say, "I'm using the thing that cuts paper." Your brain starts building connections. Choice 2. Look it up and use it immediately. I'm using the scissors to cut this paper. Now that word is connected to an action, not just memorized from a book. I remember when I started doing this. I was making breakfast and I thought, "I'm putting butter on my..." And I realized I didn't know the word for bread in that moment. So I said, "I'm putting butter on this flat food that I eat in the morning." Later, I learned the word toast. And now, every time I make toast, I think in English automatically. The key is to start small. Don't try to narrate your entire day on the first try. Start with 5 minutes. Maybe just your morning routine. I'm waking up. I'm stretching. I'm getting out of bed. After a week of this, something interesting happens. You'll catch yourself thinking in English without trying. That's when you know it's working. The second technique is about emotions and feelings. This one is powerful because emotions create strong memories. Instead of just describing what you're doing, describe how you feel about it in English. For example, instead of just thinking, I'm drinking coffee, try, I'm drinking coffee and it tastes amazing. I love this warm feeling. Or when you're stuck in traffic, instead of getting frustrated in your native language, try thinking, this traffic is so annoying. I wish I was at home right now. Why does this work? Because when you connect English to your emotions, your brain treats it as more important. It's not just words anymore. It's your actual feelings. I had a student who started doing this with weather. Instead of just noticing that it was raining, she would think, it's raining and I feel so cozy inside. I love the sound of rain on my window. After a month, she told me something interesting. She said, Amin, I realized that when I think about rain now, I automatically think in English. Even the word cozy comes to mind before my native language word. That's exactly what we want. We want English to become connected to your real experiences and emotions, not just grammar rules and vocabulary lists. Here's your homework for this technique. Tonight, before you go to sleep, think about 3 things that happened today and how they made you feel. But think about it in English. Today I had lunch with my friend and I felt happy. The food was delicious and we laughed a lot. Simple sentences, real feelings. English thinking. Technique number 3 is my personal favorite because it makes learning English feel like a game. I call it the curiosity game. Here's how it works. Whenever you see something interesting, ask yourself questions about it in English. Let's say you're walking down the street and you see a red car. Instead of just noticing it, start asking questions in your head. Why is that car so shiny? Who drives a red car? Where is that person going right now? Or you're at a restaurant and you see someone eating something that looks delicious. Think, what is that food? How do they make it? Would I like it? The beautiful thing about this technique is that it keeps your brain active in English. You're not just translating words. You're actually thinking curious thoughts in English. I remember practicing this at the airport once. I saw a woman with a huge suitcase, and I started thinking, where is she traveling to? Is this a vacation or business trip? How long will she be away from home? Before I knew it, I had spent 10 minutes thinking entirely in English without even trying. My brain was just naturally curious, and English was the language it chose to explore those thoughts. The key is to make it fun. Don't worry about finding the right answers to your questions. The goal is just to keep your mind active and thinking in English. Try this right now. Look around you. What do you see? Pick one thing and ask yourself 3 questions about it in English. Don't worry if the grammar isn't perfect. Just let your curiosity flow in English. This technique also helps with conversation skills. When you meet English speakers, you'll naturally be more curious about them because you've been practicing curiosity in English. No, this technique might sound a little crazy, but it's incredibly effective. I want you to have conversations with yourself in English, not out loud if you're in public. That might get you some strange looks, but in your head, have full conversations in English. For example, let's say you're trying to decide what to eat for dinner. Instead of thinking about it in your native language, have a conversation with yourself in English. What should I eat tonight? Maybe pasta? No, I had pasta yesterday. How about chicken? Yes, chicken sounds good. But how should I cook it? Maybe with some vegetables. Or maybe you're thinking about calling a friend. Think, should I call Emma tonight? She's probably busy with work, but maybe she needs someone to talk to. I'll send her a text first. What's happening here is amazing. You're practicing real English conversation, but with the most patient conversation partner in the world, yourself. You can take as much time as you need to find the right words. You can repeat sentences if they don't sound right. You can even argue with yourself in English. I know someone who practices job interviews this way. She has conversations with herself, like, tell me about yourself. Well, I'm a marketing manager, and I love creative projects. What's your biggest strength? I think I'm good at solving problems under pressure. By the time she had real job interviews, speaking English felt natural because she had already practiced hundreds of conversations in her head. The best part about this technique is that you can do it anywhere. On the bus, while walking, before falling asleep. Your brain is always available for English conversation practice. Start with simple topics. What you did today, what you plan to do tomorrow, what you think about the weather. As you get more comfortable, try more complex topics, like your dreams, your opinions about movies, or your thoughts about life. The final technique is about creating what I call an English mindset switch. This means choosing specific times or activities where you commit to thinking only in English. No exceptions. Maybe it's your morning coffee time. For those 15 minutes while you drink your coffee, everything goes through your English brain first. Or maybe it's your evening walk. The moment you step outside, you switch to English thinking mode. You describe what you see, how you feel, what you're planning. I have a student who chose cooking as her English time. Every time she cooks, she thinks in English. I'm chopping onions. They're making my eyes water. Now I'm heating the oil. It smells good. After 3 months, she told me something incredible. She said, Amin, now when I see onions in the store, I automatically think onions in English first, not in my native language. That's the power of consistent practice. When you regularly connect specific activities with English thinking, your brain starts to make those connections automatically. The key is to choose a time or activity that you do every day, something that's already a habit. Don't try to change your whole life. Just add English thinking to something you already do. Maybe it's brushing your teeth. Maybe it's your commute to work. Maybe it's the last 10 minutes before you sleep. Pick one thing and make it your English thinking time. After a few weeks, you can add another activity. Slowly, English thinking becomes more and more natural until one day you realize you're thinking in English without even trying. So let's review these 5 techniques quickly. First, narrate your day. Become the storyteller of your own life in English. Second, use the feeling method. Connect your emotions to English words and thoughts. Third, play the curiosity game. Ask questions about everything you see in English. Fourth, have conversations with yourself in English. Practice real conversations in your head. And fifth, create English mindset switches. Choose specific times to think only in English. Now here's the most important part. Don't try to do all 5 techniques at once. That's too much, and you'll get overwhelmed. Pick one technique that sounds most interesting to you. Just one. Practice it for 1 week. When it starts feeling natural, then add the second technique. Remember, the goal isn't perfect English thinking immediately. The goal is to start building direct connections between your thoughts and English words every time you think in English. Even for just a few seconds, you're building those neural pathways in your brain. You're training your mind to work in English naturally. Before we finish today, I want to give you a simple challenge for this week. Choose one routine activity that you do every day. It could be making your morning coffee, taking a shower, or walking to work. For the next 7 days, I want you to narrate that activity in English every single time you do it. Use simple words, simple sentences. Don't worry about grammar. Just describe what you're doing and how it feels. I'm making coffee. The water is hot. I like the smell of coffee beans. This will taste good. That's it. One activity, 7 days, English narration. I promise you that by day 7, you'll notice something different. English thoughts will start coming more naturally. And that's when you'll know that you're not just learning English anymore. You're starting to think in English. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, learning English doesn't have to be stressful. It can be as natural as thinking about your daily life. Next week, we'll talk about the power of English mistakes and why making mistakes is actually the fastest way to improve your English. Until then, start thinking in English, one thought at a time. This is Amin, and this is SEP, the Slow English Podcast. Talk to you next week.